Today we're going to do a complete breakdown of the life and death of the big bad bald mofo, aka Master Xehanort. Xehanort was born sometime after Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, in the world of Scala at Kylam. Xehanort was born to an unknown mother, but what is known is that he is the great-great-grandson of the Keyblade Master Ephemer. When Xehanort was very little, he was taken in by a figure in a blue robe who raised him on Destiny Islands. Xehanort, in his young age, developed an ability that essentially allowed him to reincarnate people. After this discovery, the now reincarnated player character from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross named Xehanort the Child of Destiny, and the one person that will save the world from darkness. The player character also then taught Xehanort more lessons. However, when Xehanort was in his teenage years, the player character passed away. In Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, a figure in a yellow robe approached Xehanort on Destiny Islands and returned him to his home world with the use of a dark portal. There, he began training under Master Odin. One of his fellow students would be Ericus, with whom Xehanort would become lifetime friends. One day, Xehanort, Ericus, and all of the other students were sent to investigate why their older classmates disappeared, and while it's unknown what exactly happened here, well, we do know that only Xehanort and Ericus survived. Xehanort would occasionally go to his classmates' graves after this, and even blame himself for what happened to them. After this came the fascination with the Keyblade War and the Lost Masters, and him and Ericus would frequently discuss those topics while playing chess together. Sometime after Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, when Xehanort was preparing to take his Mark of Mastery exam, he once again encountered the robed figure from Destiny Islands. This time Xehanort would get the power to travel through and manipulate time. Xehanort would then travel to the future and form the real Organization 13, after which he returned to his original time, not knowing what he set in motion to happen in the future because he had no recollection of anything that happened while he was tweaking the future. Soon after, Xehanort would go on a journey and go through every single world, and then he would meet the Master of Masters at the Keyblade Graveyard. Xehanort here gets the bright idea to gain control over the darkness and also learns that he is talking to one of the Lost Masters, and if you recall, that was a common topic for him and Ericus during their chess games back in the day. Xehanort, after officially becoming a master, began researching about the Keyblade War as a means to know and understand anything and everything about it, and he somehow concluded that starting another one would remake the universe into a better one, and from here on out, Xehanort's goal was to start another Keyblade War. Xehanort, by the time Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep rolls around, roughly 70 years later, had already discovered that he had to forge the Keyblade if he wanted to start another Keyblade War. He asked Ericus to assist him, but Ericus didn't want to as it was too dangerous. Things quickly went bad, and Xehanort injured Ericus and left a huge scar on his face. Xehanort then developed Plan B to realize his goal, as by this point he was getting old and needed a new body. Firstly, he took Ventus as an apprentice and started training him as a Keyblade wielder in order to pin him against one of Ericus' students to fulfill that sick plan of his. And then Xehanort would just use one of Ericus' students, steal their body when he didn't need them anymore. His plan didn't originally go the best, as Ventus wasn't really up for the job, as he outright refused to use the darkness to defend himself. Xehanort went for the last resort option and used his Keyblade and extracted the dark side of Ventus' heart, and thus Vanitas was made from that. Then Xehanort took Ventus, who was in a coma, to Destiny Islands, leaving him to live out the last bit of his life there, thinking that Ventus would just die there any day. However, Ventus survived that, and now Xehanort's plan was for him and Vanitas to fight so that he can finally get his hands on the Keyblade. Xehanort then took Ventus to Ericus so that he can train there and be ready for the fight. After this, Xehanort put in motion another plan, as he figured he could use one of Ericus' students, and that was Terra. Firstly, he sabotaged Terra's Mark of Mastery exam, which caused Terra to fail. Xehanort then manipulated Terra in order to get him to use the darkness so that he can control him easier. He also lies to Terra about how and why Vanitas exists, and why Ventus has been with Ericus for the last 4 years. Xehanort then instructed Braig, who we know is one of the many identities of the Master of Masters second in command, Lushu, to help him in case he loses his memory after he steals Terra's Terra's body. Xehanort then again manipulates Terra and asks him to be his student, and finally he manages to sort of get on Terra's good side, get his trust, whatever you want to call it, simply by calling him a master. Xehanort and Vanitas then kidnap Mickey, bring him to the Keyblade graveyard as a way to allure Ventus in a trap, and a confused Ventus then goes to Ericus to find out the truth about who he is. After which he again lies to Terra and says that Ericus is just going insane, that he's going to destroy Ventus and all that. Terra falls for this bullshit and injures Master Ericus when Xehanort shows up and just brutally kills his old friend. Yeah, so much for being friends. I don't think friends kill each other. That's not usually how it works. Anyway, if you're enjoying the video so far, please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also go down to the description, check out my main channel. That is where the GTA content is, if that's something you're interested in. Xehanort is then confronted by Ericus' students at the Keyblade graveyard, and he finally reveals his goal to them. A fight ensues, and Xehanort gets Terra to snap and lose control, eventually defeating Xehanort, but this sneaky fuck steals Terra's body, of course, officially manifesting Terranort. Fast forward to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance after Terranort's Heartless Witches and some of the Seeker of Darkness, who we defeated in Kingdom Hearts 1, and Xemnas, his nobody, who was defeated in Kingdom Hearts 2, Xehanort was able to, after their death, not only return, but also thanks to his time travel abilities, have multiple versions of himself under his control that he brought back from various times to finally form what we know in KH3 as the real Organization 13. He even almost manages to possess Sora and have him as one of his members, and he also tried possessing Riku at one point. That was back in KH1, but among others, those also failed. And you know, this one thing that I've been wondering, what's with this guy and his obsession with possessing teenagers? I mean, what the fuck, dude? After this, Mickey and Master Yensid started working on essentially assembling a group for a fight against Xehanort, which at this point had no chance of being avoided, and at the end of KH3, a fight between Sora and the gang and the real Organization 13, with old Xehanort as the leader, ensues, and he, as motivation for Sora to attack him, kills Kairi. The final battle between Sora and the big bad bald motherfucker happens in Scala at Kylum, and Sora manages to win, and even when he is literally on his last legs, like he's about to die, he still tries to go forward with this plan of starting a purge so that he can finally remake all of the worlds how he wants them. Everyone else appears in that moment, but most importantly, Ericus emerges in front of Terra, and he finally convinces Xehanort that it's over and to hand over the Keyblade, after which the two old friends briefly become their teenage selves before finally fading away. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this video about Xehanort and his life and death. Leave your thoughts and opinions on Xehanort and on this topic overall in the comments. Always love to read them and reply to them. Until next video stream, bye bye.